for material design for virtual environments. I chosen the present simple tense topic to explain make a kind of lesson. Uh, the present simple tense is used to express the idea that an action is repeated or usual. The action can be a habit, a hobby, a daily event, a scheduled event, or something that often happens. That refers to an action or event that is ongoing or that regularly takes place in present time. For example, he cries easily. Two, we can say that a verb in present simple tense can appear alone as the main verb in a sentence. This unique verb form is called simple because it doesn't involve aspect. I'm gonna explain the grammar for a affirmative sentence. We can find here the order that we should make in an affirmative statement. In first place, we should put the subject, and then we should put the main verb in present simple, of course. As we see here, we see the different pronouns like I, you, we, and they. And here we see the main verb play, and here we can see the third person pronouns like he, she, it, and we see here the main verb, and this have a variation because in third person we should put a s. We should add a s in third person. As we have mentioned previously, the affirmative sentence have some rules. For example, there is no auxiliary verb, and we conjugate the main verb by adding s, as we see here, to the third person singular. Then we find the negative sentence. These have the following order: subject, the auxiliary, el do, and the main verb. This is conjugated in present simple. We see here the do or the does. The do is for the next pronouns like I, you, we, and they, as we see here. And here is the do with the negative auxiliary, and then the main verb. At the same way, we see the third pronouns or third person, and the auxiliary do, in this case el does, and the auxiliary negative or not, and then the main verb. I'm gonna explain later the rules in the next square. Then we find the interrogative subject. In the interrogative subject, this have a change. We should change the order of the auxiliary and the subject or pronoun. The auxiliary verb do or does should be should be we should put that we should put that before of the subject to do and write interrogative statement. This is the order. The interrogative sign, the auxiliary verb, depending the pronoun. We should put the do or does, and then we put the subject for the do. We put the I, you, we, or they, and then the main verb. In this case, like, and ending for the statement. We should do the same for the third person. The auxiliary verb, then the subject, and then the main verb, as we see here. The rules that I have mentioned before are this. For negative and question sentence, we find that the auxiliary verb that is conjugated in present simple, da or das. The main verb is invariable in base form. And for negative sentence, we insert not between the auxiliary verb and then the main verb. And for question sentence, we exchange the subject and the auxiliary verb. We can see here the grammar for the third person, and this is the order for the third person in a statement. The pronoun he, she, or it, and then the verb, and then the addition of the s. In the third person, we can find some rules because depending the ending, we should make a addition. For example, for silent e, we use a s, as we see here. For example, close, closes, and no, notes, as we see here in those words. If the word is ending in y as a vowel, for example, play, we add an s, like we see here. And is ending as a consonant, we should change for an I, E, and S. For example, if we have the word study, we should change that by studies, making that change as we see here or here. If the verb is ending in O, we should add a ES, as we see in these words. And if the verbs is ending in S, Z, SH, T, CH, and CH, we should add a ES. For example, Mrs., Mrs. No, Miss and Mrs. Bus, businesses, hatches, and the other words. Here are the rules well explained as I have mentioned before. For example, verb never take an S in the negative or interrogative forms. Does he speak German is an example. We have another example here. Do they play soccer? Or she doesn't like ice cream. There are an example for that rule. We have a better example of the lesson here in that square. For example, here we see the affirmative subject, there the negative, and there the interrogative, with the difference with the different rules apply in the square to understand better. For example, we see the pronouns as we have explained before. The pronouns and the main verb directly associated, and in the third person we see the addition of the S, and in the negative we see the change in das, as I have mentioned it previously, and we don't see here the addition of the S because have a rule that in negative statements we don't put S at the ending of the main verb. And we see here the example for the interrogative. For the interrogative statement, the exchange of the subject and the auxiliary verb, el da and el do and the subject, and we see here the das for third person and the rule when we don't add the S for the main verb. And this is the all that I can explain about present simple. This is the ending of the lesson. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.